I remember when I was a kid, actually, we start to speak a lot about the importance of the trees, but never about the ocean. And so people don't know yet. It covers a big part of our planet. It's actually 70%, but it produces more than 50% of our oxygen. We always think about the trees, but never about the ocean producing it. Without the ocean, it would be unlivable for us. We would not even exist. I would like to do some interdisciplinary project involving land, because actually then when you study an ecosystem on land, somehow is linked to the ocean. Maybe the initial strategy from the environmental projects were people blaming, so okay, we did bad and now we have to fix it. But yeah, then we have to take into consideration a lot of social, economic factors, and the average person, it's not the primary responsible for how the planet is now. So I think this is better to make people fall in love with the planet, with the ecosystems, and then then they will want to protect. If you have a tiny bit more, if you can do something for somebody else, do it.
Hello, beautiful SANUSPLANET community. It is amazing that you're here today again. We have a lot of beautiful guests that I am allowed to interview, like also today. If you're on YouTube, you can see my guest already, Laura Cassone. And I say this like the Italian accent, Laura Cassone, because she's Italian too. So in the end, we could talk in Italian and make the podcast in Italian, but our podcast is mostly German and English, and our listeners too. So we will talk in English and share many beautiful things about the work of Laura and her organization. And her organization, she's the founder of the Mermaid Project. The Mermaid Project is a beautiful project that is right now seen in the voting tool on the SANUSAPP. So you can go on the SANUSAPP, check out all of the NGOs seen there in this voting period, and you can cast your vote for one of the NGOs you like the most. And if you're listening today, you will definitely find out what Laura and the Mermaid Project, what they are doing and how important it is what they are doing. And I'm really, really honored to be here with you, Laura. Thank you so much for your time, for being here, for sharing everything and your experience and all you do. First of all, just thank you and a big welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Maggie. So exciting to be part of this, and congratulations for having so many episodes already.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it makes me very happy. There are so many beautiful people in this world.
Yeah,
This podcast shows, yes, there is a lot of hope happening, a lot of good people doing good stuff like you.
Yeah, that's the nice part of this job, meeting a lot of even small projects, but if we put ourselves working together, finally we are big.
That's the thing, right? If we put ourselves together and start moving things and think about what are our values and what is so important in this world to protect, because it allows us to be in this world. That's where we'll be talking about, because everyone who's listening, the Mermaid Project, you can maybe imagine it's a project that is working and acting for ocean conservation. And ocean conservation in the end is nature protection as well. It is our future.
Yeah.
The ocean is so important. Do you want, first of all, Laura, let's go back a little bit. We have so much to talk about, but let's go back a little bit before the time that you have created the NGO. What have you done before? Like, where do you come from? Tell us a little bit about you.
So I know that I have to meet you, and so I start to think, how did I get myself here?
Yeah.
And so we have to start from my childhood. So I also want to take this chance to thank my parents, because I don't do it much, but I think the love for nature comes from them for sure. I grew up in the Italian countryside. And I always say to everybody, I grew up in a huge garden. And then I went recently, because we don't live there anymore. And it was just that I was tiny. It was not that big of a garden. For me, it was, probably it was like a forest. And I remember I was 9 when my dad taught me how to climb the walnut tree. And I remember the care that they planted all the plants in this garden. And I knew all the scientific names even. And they were doing also an amazing jobs with animals. Before I was born, there were already 3 dogs. And they continue to do this amazing job rescuing dogs from the street and shelter. And yeah, it's something that also I would like to do when I'm a bit more settled. But yeah, for sure, it was a privileged childhood in that sense. They teach me how to love every creature, and also they were not like economically richer compared to the average Italian back then. But something they teach me is if you have a tiny bit more, if you can do something for somebody else, do it. And yeah, for sure, this is still deep inside myself. And then, so, okay, from my childhood, then I decided to go study educational sciences because I know I want to do something good. I know that I want to help people, maybe. But in Italy, if you do educational sciences, they tell you, oh, nice, you want to work in the kindergarten, which I was like, no, that's hell for me. But nobody...
I get you. I couldn't do that. I get you.
So nobody understands what I want to do, and also me, probably. But I know education is the tool. I know that it's everywhere, and we have to use it to communicate effectively. And yeah, still, I think it's something that is part of my NGO, but we will talk later. And then I continue my studies in France, and I was doing a PhD. And something that I forget, because really I think about this now that I'm talking to you. In France, I tried to start my first tree planting project, but I'm alone. I don't know what I'm doing. I never did it. It was around COVID, so, we talk more about the environment. So I feel the urge, yeah, okay, I'm in education, but I want to do something about the environment, but it's not going. By myself, this is something also that I learned. By myself, I cannot do it. I need, we need collaboration. That's what, if we need to be together to actually achieve something nice, I think. And in the forum of Italian in France,
the Italians in France. Okay.
So yeah, it was quite of a crazy journey. There is a guy posting, please, I'm starting it's a newborn NGO and we do coral restoration. Please, if you can like this post, we are seeking a bit of audience. And so I was like, okay, I like the post, but also I try to plant trees, but I cannot manage myself. Can we have a call? Can we talk? And so we talk, and finally I end up joining this NGO, and this is my first time. I don't know. So he asked me, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know. What can I do?
Something good.
Yeah. I don't know what is my role. What can I do? And so finally, it's like, okay, I will come back to you. And then a week passed, 2 weeks passed. And I'm like, okay, let's see. And then he's like, okay, would you like to be in charge of fundraising? And I'm like, okay, I never did it, but yeah, let's try. And actually, it's going good. And I worked there for 3 years, and I have to say I learned a lot. Especially, it was also an ocean conservation NGO, so I learned a lot about the ecosystem and the importance. And also now maybe I could have done something else, but I really think the ocean, to me, is the most powerful ecosystem that we have. But then, there were some things not making me super happy, as I wanted to, especially, I think many projects don't take enough into account the locals, and I wanted the locals to have more voice and to be more fair with them. And then I end up leaving that NGO. But I was not ready because it was, a lot. It was a big breakup for me.
Yeah.
But I joined an environmental company, so I stayed in the doing something good for the environment. And then what happens is that I literally had a dream. I think this will be the weirdest episodes. I hope you. I had a dream.
That's great. I love that. I love that. Go deep. Dream, yes.
I hope, your listeners will.
Yeah. I love it too. I know.
Ideas can come from anywhere, from the forum of Italians abroad, from dreams. Yeah. And then I wake up and I say to my boyfriend, I'm starting my own NGO. And he's like, okay,
What
another,
happened? What happened at night?
another weird project. And then, what was amazing is that then I go back in contact because then I'm like 2.5 years away from oceans because with the company, we take care mainly of forests. And so I go back in contact with ocean people.
Mm-hmm.
And it was super interesting, because I'm like, I know the ocean changed quite a lot. For example, we had the coral bleaching. So, yeah, what can we do for that? What we have to do today for sure is different than what we were doing 3 years ago. Can we still do something? And so it was super interesting to network with people and share ideas. And yeah, I spoke with some ex-colleagues from the NGO. In fact, they told me, yeah, you can do anything. You don't have to do oceans. And I struggle a bit, in fact, in narrowing down because then, yeah, everything feels important.
Yeah,
And
I
I
get
think,
you.
yeah, I would like to do some, if you are listening and you want to do some project together, I would like to do some interdisciplinary project involving land. Because actually, then when you study an ecosystem on land, somehow is linked to the ocean, and
All the time.
humans are linked to the ocean, and we are all linked together. So something interesting can come out. But then, yeah, and I thank our mutual friend Tony from Ocean Material. That also put me in contact with you because I had a nice conversation with him about mangroves, and I was like, yeah, mangroves are still super important, and people start to be more familiar with them. So this can be very, very impactful. And so I was like, okay, I will start from where I left because this is what I'm able to do. So I will start for mangroves, seagrass, and corals.
Mhm.
And then, I get also back in touch with the local communities that I knew, and it was so nice to. They still remember me, and so we speak, and I want to hear also what's relevant for them, and they tell me about the sea turtles. And so, and so also the sea turtles are now a part of what the Mermaid Project is doing. And we are now talking about sharks. So yeah, I'm trying to narrow down, but especially the sea turtles, actually they carry nutrients to the ecosystem. So everything is really connected. So I will try to narrow down, but I feel the four of them are important.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for taking us onto that journey and the dream that changed your life. In the end, you can also tell us about the dream if you want to. But first of all, it's so beautiful to see, like in the end, the ocean always pulled you back. It's like the ocean was something that pulled you in, calling you
Yeah.
to support it, to act for it, to help it. And if we think about mangrove restoration and coral reef restoration and seagrass and turtles and all kind of species of animals and plants that are living in the ocean, people out there don't really understand the connection. Like you said, it's all connected, it's all intertwined.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about when you talk about these topics like coral propagation, right? I myself am a coral propagation trainer. When you
Mhm.
talk to the people that are living far away from the ocean and they
Yeah.
have no idea what the corals are even about, how do you feel? Do the people listen? Are they interested? How do you make them be interested? Because that's probably also where your educational program, the thing that you
Mm,
learned at the beginning, comes in, right? It
makes
helps you
sense.
to use education to bring this closer
Mm.
to the people. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, makes sense probably because also, I don't want to be perceived. I don't want to be these money hungry NGOs. So when I contact people and they're like, "Are you looking for donations?" and I'm like, "Not necessarily," because for me it's super important to do communication and to do it in a nice way. Again, from the 90s, I remember when I was a kid, actually, we start to speak a lot about the importance of the trees, but never about the ocean. And so
Mm.
people, don't know yet. And what I try to do is sharing, facts that when I learned, I was like, oh, wow. So, for example, the ocean, we know it covers a big part of our planet. It's actually 70%, but it produces more than 50% of our oxygen. And we always think about the trees, but never about the ocean producing it. Without the ocean, it would be unlivable for us. We would not even exist. And so I try to share these facts to try to get people passionate about corals. For example, many people don't know they are animals, not plants. So actually, we don't plant corals, we restore them. And I think like these people get more engaged. And I think, maybe the initial strategy from the environmental projects were people blaming. So, okay, we did bad and now we have to fix it. But then we have to take into consideration a lot of social, economic factors, and the average person, it's not the primary responsible for how the planet is now. So I think this is better to make people fall in love with the planet, with the ecosystems, and then then they will want to protect.
I love that, because that's one of my sayings. Protect what you love, because what you love, you do protect automatically because you want to protect it, right? And if we don't love it, we don't have this connection to it. So how should we even think about, oh, maybe we should or we could protect the ocean or whatever, if we don't understand it, right? If we don't understand its importance for us even to be here. And that's why I also talk exactly about this. What you love, you protect. So let's fall in love again with this beautiful world. That's amazing that you say that. It's so beautiful. Yeah, so cool. So you started mainly with mangroves, or did you get right into mangrove, coral, and seagrass, or was it like step by step that you moved?
Immediately in the three of them, because I have the contacts already. And then I had to learn about the sea turtles. Also, I think I bring still a bit of the research background, because what I do is also I try to update the website and the social media, which is not really, it's a lot of work. I have to be better in this, but now I put scientific references. So for every ecosystem and every wildlife, every topic, I want to put the main scientific references that are follow in the topic. And and see, for example, there are now new techniques about the coral, so not all hopes are lost. And I share a lot with the locals. So now we talk about the sharks, but they are still work in progress. Still, I have to learn myself a lot, and what can be the best to protect them.
Yeah, and the cool thing is you work with local communities. You're not like you go out there and plant and show like, this a little bit white savior complex. When we go somewhere, we have what they have to do and how it has to be in a place where the people know so much more than us, because they live there since ages. So it's not about going somewhere and telling someone what to do, but it's about going somewhere and trying to help, to learn from them. We need to see what people need so we can find solutions that work for them. Otherwise, it's not a long-term support, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And something else important that I want to mention, that it was important for me to do differently from before, was to give women more voice. So in my website there is written like women-led NGO, and a friend asked me, why is women only? It's not women.
Because mostly it's men only, that's why.
Yeah. It's not women only, but we want to take time and listen to the women and empower the women, because both the locals and both the Western women, because I want to give voice. I still had contacts with amazing marine biologists. So something else I would like to do in communication is giving voice to these scientists, webinars, conferences in progress, but especially to the local women, because they have quite some knowledge about their ecosystem, but still they are out of decision-making processes. And actually, if we go back to studies say that when women are involved, the results are better. They focus more on, in fact, long-term restoration, and also the results are more fair towards the entire community. And I think it makes sense now. We don't make a 3-hour episode, so let's not go too deep into. I think things are also changing socially, but yeah, I think traditionally is the woman has to learn the ethic of care, and so it makes sense that the women think more about the long-term effects and the care of everybody involved.
Totally. You know, another example, we support a project in Cameroon where 50 girls are going to school that normally would not be allowed to go to school because first, if the families have the money, they send first the boys before they send the girls. But there is a saying in Africa, many places in Africa, they say, if you teach a child, a boy, to go to school, you educate one child. That's amazing. But if you teach a girl, you educate a nation because the girl brings home the knowledge, shares with the others, and thinks long term and family. Like you just said, more about community. It's not about comparing women and men, but in the past we have seen that women have been let out so much while they bring so many beautiful benefits, and we have to combine all of it, not this only but both together, and that is creating the magic in the end, and that's what we need, and that's pushed away for way too long. That's really, it's so important.
And again, I think it will change with the next generation. But so far, and it's also too bad for them. To the men, it was they always have to learn to be competitive, to not show emotions, and so of course this reflects somehow. But yeah, I think slowly we are changing. So sooner or later we can collaborate both for the good, probably.
Yeah, nice. And also youth, right? You think about women, involving women and youth. What do you do with, what are your plans or ideas and all what you are already maybe doing with youth, with young people?
Yeah, especially educations about the ecosystem, and really try to grow up the next caretaker of the planet.
Yeah.
But I think these communities already live nearby these ecosystems. So I think, a bit how I was saying for myself, I was privileged because I grew up next to the plants, so I learned how to love them. And I think it's the same for the kids that today grow up next to the marine ecosystems, and especially they need also to be empowered economically because when they are in their 20s there are no many job possibilities, and so it's also a way to teach them reforestation, but not only. I want them to be in charge of the project, so to be able to do data collection, monitoring, to monitor the survival rate so that they can fully take care of the project. And so, this can be also a way to empower them economically.
Yeah, that's one of the big things also with SANUSPLANET.
Mhm.
To be one level, right? We have to bring the finances together with ocean conservation and environmental protection because it costs money and people need an income. They need to have a good life so they can give back. If people are not in a good, stable financial situation, they cannot really give back. Of course, how should they? Because then they are in survival mode. So we need to combine all of this. This is so important. Hey, I have seen on your website that you also offer scholarships and internships. How does that work?
Always partnering with the local community because, so we are in high impact areas, so Tanzania, Kenya, Philippines, and Indonesia. And so I want the students to go there for their internships. So now actually I was contacted by students from the university in Indonesia, so they are already nearby, so they can easily go there. And but I would love also if Western students go on field and experiment a different reality. I think is really life changing.
That sounds amazing, which means everybody who's listening here and there are young people that say they want to make a scholarship or internship somewhere else about ocean conservation, they could call you, they could write you and say,
Contact
hey, I
me.
want to be on board. How can I do that? Where do I go? Amazing. So how
Yeah,
does that work? Like you work together with other organizations at the place, or you're searching organizations, or you're searching
yeah.
communities that need a project and that would want to be involved? Or
Yeah, with different stakeholders, but yeah, especially looking if there are already local NGOs on field that already take care, and maybe they just need, in fact, help in terms of visibility. Yeah, because they already know, in fact, what they are doing. But I also spoke with a sustainable travel agency.
Mhm.
And we are seeing if it's possible for sustainable tourists to volunteer if they are already in the area. So yeah, we don't want to move them and yeah, cause the trip costs in terms of impact. But for example, they will have soon a trip in Indonesia, in the area of Bali, and they could help there with the sea turtles, in fact.
Amazing. Amazing.
So if you want to volunteer,
Yes, yeah. If everyone who wants to volunteer and support and learn and grow, like I can tell you, I volunteered for 7 years
Mm,
without break. You learn so much
yeah,
about yourself, but also about the world and about other people, other communities, other
yeah,
ways of living, other traditions, cultures. And then that's where you can grow because when you're open-minded, you can grow. You can open your heart and everything is just like making sense suddenly because we sometimes are in our small little world and we don't know anything out there and then we have our opinion and that's how it is but we don't know anything, so we have to open up a little bit more because everyone has a different background and tradition and culture, and we are judging so fast as people. We're judging someone that we don't even understand. How can we judge? That's not possible. So we
yeah,
need
for
to
sure.
learn about that. And that's what I love with your project, that you are involving local communities because it's so important that the people there that live there at the place that they are first of all able to, like with finances, but also with
Yeah,
with any kind of resources, but that they feel first of all supported and they feel not pressured, but they can choose to do something that supports their own ecosystem which they benefit from in the end.
yeah,
And that's
absolutely.
so important. Are there some stories you want to share? Do you have some beautiful connections with some people where you feel like, wow, there is something amazing people that have done something beautiful, or something where you felt like you have an impact? That's always beautiful, these impact stories. Do you want to share something?
Mhm. Well, for example, in Kenya, for the mangrove project, we just got to have a woman project manager, and this is fun because it changes the dynamics a lot in this
Mhm.
community still. And so let's see about the results. But it's interesting already to see a bit the community the communication dynamics changing and. Yeah, and it's just amazing to be in contact with these people. For me, sometimes I feel, yeah, I cannot do like how much I would like to, but
Mm.
they are always happy. And yeah, it's not fair to tell them, do this, I will send you the money and the donation if you do this. It's absolutely not fair, and we have to listen. Like we have to share the project. We have to listen, and maybe finally they have to be the main owner. Even we are just passing by, and I can share. Yeah, when I read the papers, I can share what are the latest techniques and
Mhm.
we can discuss about. But finally, yeah, finally, each ecosystem is their treasure, and yeah, it's fair that they are in charge of
Yes.
each treasure.
Yeah, and I think in the long term, that's the only way how it works, because otherwise it's like someone from the outside paying them to do something that they don't stand behind. So
Yeah, yeah, right.
they do it so they make a bit of money or whatever, or they can live from it, okay? But if they don't,
Hmm.
everyone, like with us, same, if I'm not allowed to do what I really am on fire for, then at some point maybe my fire goes off,
Yeah,
burns out, and it feels not like I am making this impact that I am here on this planet to make. And I think that is one of the most important things. That's, it sounds like luxury. Some people are really like in survival mode. So of
yeah,
course they cannot
absolutely.
even live what they believe in. But that's what we want to support more, right? And that's exactly what you do. So people are living, really living what they are doing. because they love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And something else that I want to share. This community in Tanzania were doing cleanups, but they were not happy with that because they're like, yeah, then the plastic comes back.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I dig a bit into it, and I see that Tanzania already got ban on plastic bags on 2019,
Mm-hmm.
which is a nice precedent. And so I was like, okay, so let's get another one, and let's go city by city. It's not that hard. It's a lot of work
Mm-hmm.
because actually, if you collect the data and you present the data and cases, like there are other cities nearby that have more strict policies, and then especially you can show to the city that they will save money because then the disposal of trash is a lot of money. So you can save money and be nice to the
That's important to have a win-win situation, right? Why should
yeah,
you ban that? Because you also make money from it and it's good for the environment and you can use it for a greener image and whatever. It's like
yeah.
win-win. Yeah.
Exactly. I think it's not hard, like it's not difficult to do it. It's just a lot of work and it's super slow. So from a marketing point of view, probably it's not that impactful. Like, okay, let's do a plastic cleanup and then I will send you the picture and your company can share before and after. But let's not take the picture another week after when the trash is back. But yeah, I really want to do this work because then when we get the result, and I'm sure eventually we will get a result, it's more impactful because we avoid plastic starting from the source. We don't
Yeah.
just clean it up.
I can imagine that's also one reason why you have been very much in touch with Tony Kienberger
Yeah,
from the
exactly,
Circular
exactly.
Roadshow. That's a project, everyone who's listening, that we support with SANUSPLANET as well, a Circular Roadshow on the Philippines mainly. There are upcycling, recycling projects with the kids, teaching education about the plastic topic. So I think that's also why we two have met and
Yeah.
have been
And
coming in touch.
Tony is also going door to door to the manufacturers
Yes.
to show them that they, instead of using virgin plastic, they could
Yeah.
use recycled plastic and even seaweed.
Yeah.
And again, yeah, I think also it's hard work,
Mhm.
but when you get even just one, it's super impactful.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I hope that generationally this will change more and more, and then it will be a no-brainer. Of course, I don't go for virgin plastic, I go for seaweed.
Yes, of course. Yeah, definitely. And do you want to share shortly with us in which country do you make what kind of projects or what is the topic in that country? And also explain shortly the topic that is seen on the voting tool, which is mangrove restoration. Go into that a little bit more detail. That would be great. So everybody hears, oh, that's where you vote for if you vote for the Mermaid Project.
Nice. So the project on Sanus will be the mangrove project in Kenya, where we have this woman project manager, especially. And I spoke with other NGO, and they were like, "Yeah, I don't know. In Kenya, we didn't get nice results, so they sort of gave up to Kenya. But I think it's possible to do it. You just have to show the way. For example, this community was planting seeds, and I propose instead to grow seedlings until 20 centimeters so that they are stronger and they will have a higher survival rate. And actually, mangroves are made to survive hurricanes. So even in these circumstances, they have a quite nice survival rate. And with the mangroves, we are also in Tanzania and the Philippines. And in Indonesia, we are with corals and sea turtles. So, yeah, sorry for the mess, because we hope
No,
to
it's good.
start the sea turtles also in Kenya.
Yeah, yeah.
And in Tanzania, we do also the seagrass, also a super powerful ecosystem. And actually, they are now trying to learn how to dive to restore the corals. But yeah, still a lot of work. And I want to send there a marine biologist in charge to teach them how to dive in a good way.
Yes, that's amazing. And that also brings the people not only into do coral restoration, but also into falling in love with the underwater world. Because when you're down there, you see it with your own eyes and you start to be like, what is this? Our world,
Yeah,
these wonders. You don't see them above the water, but down there you really feel them. Like with your own eyes, you see it and it goes deep into your heart. And that helps you also to fall in love with it much more. If you don't see it, if you don't know it, it's a bit harder to fall in
yeah,
love with
absolutely.
something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so amazing. So I'm so happy that we have this project on our app. I was searching for mangrove restoration projects because
Mhm.
that's what we don't support yet. And I wanted to because it's one of the most
Yeah.
important ecosystems as well. Like there are so many most important ecosystems.
Yeah.
All of them are needed, right?
But
But
they're really, really magic mangroves.
yes, do you want to share a little bit about mangroves in general, why they are so important and
Mhm.
what they
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, actually, so they are not only important for because they are home for a lot of fishes. So already their roots are super important, but not only because actually, in fact, because they are so strong and they are made to survive storms. They protect the coasts from erosion, and they protect the communities, especially when there is lack of mangroves. There are more, during natural disaster. Yeah, there is more impact. But actually, they protect the entire planet because they absorb a lot of CO2.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, you know a bit of what is what they say, the wings of a butterfly. If you
Mhm.
plant a mangrove somewhere in the planet, it can have an impact on the entire planet, actually.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
that's amazing.
yeah, unfortunately, it's super important still to restore them and to protect them because, especially due to human activity, yeah, a lot of them were destroyed in the past, and also they suffer, of course, pollution and global warming. But
Mhm.
so it's yeah, a small gesture to plant a seedling, but actually it's super powerful.
Yes, so powerful. And also on top, I think I mean the mangroves they are growing in in the
Yeah,
ocean, like ocean water. They can have sweet water and salt water. They
yeah.
survive in both, which is really crazy because most trees with salt water they would die. They would not be able to grow. But the mangroves can with the salt water. They absorb whatever they do. I don't know exactly, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
can live there. And right now it's a bit like with the glaciers, like the ice in
Mhm.
the Arctic, Antarctic, it's melting a lot. There's more um, sweet water coming into the
Yeah.
ocean. Mangroves are quite good with balancing, so
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah, yeah.
really stay
Yeah,
quite long stable. This is so important.
they're able to adapt. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Adapting, it's one of the big things that they can do. What is your idea or your vision for your own project? Where do you want to go? How big do you want? I mean, big or sometimes it's good to also think small, not just huge, right? Sometimes we, like you said before, to focus on one thing is sometimes important too. But as it is all intertwined, what is your vision for the project? How do you have to do you want to involve other projects like you said you mentioned already shark protection, that's
Mhm.
something
Yeah.
that you have in your mind?
Yeah, well, hopefully, yeah, it would be nice to really, I want to make the difference with policies. So, yeah, while in the meantime, yeah, let's restore and protect. And, but I think it's really important to change the policies also about protection so that after we plant, they stay. Yeah, it's something, yeah, super important that maybe today we focus, yeah, especially those marketing projects. "Oh, let's plant a tree," and then you don't know what happens to this tree, and then you hear on the news that it was a failure because several reasons. So we really have to focus on long term.
Mhm.
And I think really, I think the law will change. You know, this year already we had this law to protect the high seas. So I think slowly we will get there so that all the species hopefully are impacted. And yeah, about me, I think yeah, I will try now to do something for the sharks too. Still, I'm in reading in research mode. But yeah, absolutely. I'm afraid, and when I hear, okay, now the jellyfishes need protection, Yeah, it's really hard to narrow down, because really you learn that everything is important, that everything deserves protection.
But anyway, as you are restoring the ecosystem, you are supporting the restoration, you are protecting everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it is all connected. So that's
Yeah,
really
true.
beautiful. Yeah.
True. When you restore the ecosystem, then actually also an indicator of success is that the fauna come back to live in the ecosystem.
Yeah. So it's a benefit for all life
Yeah, yeah.
under the sea and above the sea also.
Yeah, true. Also,
Yeah. So in
also
the end,
in the
you're doing it
mangroves,
already.
yeah, in the mangroves, a lot of species live, from birds to mammals. Also, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so thankful that you are on our app, that we can vote for you this
Thank you
month
so
as well. This is so beautiful. And I support everything you do because it's so amazing. And I am here connected and I feel you, I feel your project. And I want to say just thank you. And maybe one final question about hope. What is your hope? Like, do you see hope in the world? Do you feel like sometimes it's so draining, it's so bad, there's no hope? Or do you see like there's a lot of hope? Or do you see like, oh, okay, we really have to move our ass to create the hope? Or what is your feeling about it?
Yeah, probably we need to move our ass to create hope. But yeah, I got in contact with a project recently, and this guy wants to help the corals, but he was super, super pessimistic. And I was like, okay, give me your email address, and now I will send you the latest positive news. There are new technologies, there are new laws. So yeah, and I think in these moments where we see a lot of negativity in the world, but also projects starts to do something positive against the negativity. So I think, yeah, I think it's human, and I think somehow we will always make hope.
That's the thing. We will make hope. That's right.
Yeah, we will
We
make
have
it.
to make it. Yeah. Amazing. Well, is there something that you still want to share that I maybe did not ask or that I didn't have on my mind? Is there something you want to still share with our community? Or do you want to
Um,
say something to them as well about
yeah.
the
Oh, yeah, reach
voting
out.
for you?
Reach out for anything. If you have any questions, if you want to learn more, if you want to get involved, if you're a project and you want to collaborate. Yeah, I think it's just an amazing community. I learn more and more about your application. I have to dig. But yeah, I'm super happy to be featured as a project. And yeah, I check also the previous month I voted for my favorite project. So yeah, I think it's super nice to get to know also the rest of the community. So let's just stick together.
Yeah, let's stick together. Thank you so much, Laura, for your time and for sharing everything that you do. Thank you for what you do. I feel very honored that we are connected, and it makes me very, very happy because it gives me also hope. You know, these conversations to see
Right.
there are so many people doing and acting and moving. I love it.
Well,
So
thank
thank
you
you.
for what you do, and thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Lovely community. Thank you so much for listening today. And yeah, I hope that you learned a lot, and I can imagine you did because it's so beautiful. And yeah, go to the voting tool, click on the voting in the section Planet, and vote for the project that you like the most. Help us help more. It helps us to contribute or to share the donations that we receive balanced in a good way. So we share it with the organizations you choose. Thank you so much for everything, for listening. And in 2 weeks, the next podcast comes out. And let's see who the guest is there. I will tell you soon. And thank you, Laura, for your time. All the best for your project. We stand behind you, and we are very happy to see how much we will be able to donate to your organization. It's the first start with the voting tool, but there are many, many other possibilities to come. I'm pretty sure we will have a very nice cooperation going on. Thank you
Thank you,
so
and
much.
yeah, let's meet soon in person in Italy or on field.
Definitely. I'm really looking forward to that. Bye, Laura. Bye, everyone. Thank you for listening.
Ciao.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.